This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Do you know how to recognize gang activity? We have details on a special program that will teach you the signs. Good evening and thank you for joining us at FYI. I'm Lisa Sugart, sitting in tonight for Ken Cara. We begin with your headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Another former Hazleton mayor is expected to run for Congress. According to our media partner, the Standard Speaker, former Mayor Michael Marsicano will announce his candidacy for Congress this Sunday. Marsicano will seek the Democratic nomination for the 11th District seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, the same seat currently held by former Hazleton Mayor Lou Barletta. State police are investigating an apparent armed robbery. According to the Standard Speaker, it happened this morning at Wendy's restaurant outside of the Laurel Mall. One person was assaulted in the incident, which involved two suspects, at least one with a gun. Two men were taken into custody following a search of the area. A state police helicopter and the Hazleton Police Department's K-9 unit both assisted in that search. A man was punched and kicked during an armed robbery last night in Hazleton. It happened around 10:30 p.m. in the area of 2nd and Boundary Streets. The victim, a 24-year-old man from West Hazleton, told Hazleton police a Hispanic man approached him from behind and put a gun against his back. The victim struck the suspect with his skateboard. That's when two more Hispanic males began punching and kicking him. The trio made off with the victim's wallet, skateboard, and one of his sneakers. Anyone with information is asked to call Hazleton Police by dialing 911. A Hazleton area school district teacher who had been accused of inappropriate contact with a 16-year-old female student has now been cleared of criminal wrongdoing. FYI contacted the teacher, Michelle Yakubowski, this morning. She told us she is not able to comment at this time. The district received a letter from the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office stating the investigation had concluded and yielded no evidence of criminal activity. District Superintendent Dr. Craig Butler told the Standard Speaker that she remains suspended with pay pending the district's evaluation of that report by the DA's office. Tonight, some sad news to report. He was known as the king of Italian cuisine, and people loved him as much as his recipes. Chef Lou, who hosted the Chef Lou Show on Channel 7, passed away today on his birthday. He touched the hearts of everyone he met with his down-to-earth style and fabulous cuisine. I had the pleasure of knowing him for many years. His family posted a beautiful tribute on his Facebook page today, which read in part, quote, "For a man to be born and brought back to heaven on the same day is a beautiful miracle. And anyone that knew our father knows he was just that," unquote. Many people expressed their sympathy and prayers on the Facebook page. The Lasan family and everyone here at FYI extends our sympathies to the family and friends of Chef Lou. A special seminar will be held to alert local businesses to the signs of gang activity. Tonight we have more on this special program that will be held later this month. Unfortunately, gang activity has made its way not only into our area, but in many communities across the United States. But would you recognize the signs of gang activity? Well, a special seminar will be held for local businesses to help them do just that. Here to tell us all about it today is Leanne Falabelle. Leanne is the Vice President of Marketing for the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber is offering a gang identifier training session. Tell us how this came about.
Back in January, we actually had our Luzerne County District Attorney, Stephanie Salavantis, speak at one of our women's networking luncheons. And this topic had come up, and she had said how one of her detectives has provided this training to various communities throughout Luzerne County. And several of our members were interested in the training and asked if we could bring it to the business community. So that's why we're providing the training.
And what's been the reaction to the business community that you're doing this?
So far, we've had it out to our members, promoting it in our newsletter and to our chamber members and things like that. And we've had several registrations. So we're hoping, just to provide an informational training for our members and, something that we haven't done before. And I think that is, needed.
How do you think the business community will benefit from this?
I think that it's just an opportunity for them to just know and be aware, and just educate themselves on the things that they may not necessarily see every day. Maybe they're seeing it, but they don't realize that it's there. So just to educate themselves on this type of topic.
The police always tell us that they can do their job better if we're all their eyes and ears. So, like you said, many of us may see things that we just don't recognize. So this will help them to provide information, I would assume, as well to the police department to keep the community safer.
Right. And, he's going to cover different topics, just, hand signs, clothing, tattoos, just different things to look for, just to identify. And, like you said, be the eyes and ears, and just be aware, make your businesses a little bit safer. And we didn't just get, people weren't just interested in just maybe one area of this. It was, from banks to local nonprofit organizations. We were very surprised, the businesses that really were excited to take part in this and just wanted to learn some more. So I think it's going to be a good training and a good eye opener for the community.
And do you need to be a chamber member to attend?
No, for all of our events are open to all, anybody that is interested. We do have a chamber member price, $15. Non-member price is $20. We're going to have it at the Pines Eatery right on Broad Street, so a nice convenient location for all of our businesses. And it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. It'll be for about an hour. It'll be Thursday, July 23rd. Following his training session, he's going to have an open forum for question and answer. And anybody that is interested can register. We just need people to register on our website, hazletonchamber.org, or just call our office.
All righty, very good. If you would like information on how to identify if there's any gang symbols around you, this is the seminar that will help to teach you that, so please sign up today. Thank you to Leanne from the Chamber of Commerce. Well, how can you avoid being a target of a scam? Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis will talk about scams and more on a new Sam Lassant show that will air tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. right here on SSPTV. The show will also rebroadcast on Saturday and Sunday at the times that are listed up on your screen. And finally, today is your last chance to enter to win a pair of bistro tickets to the Pennsylvania 400 at Pocono Raceway August 2nd. All you have to do is like our Facebook page at facebook.com/FYI News 13. The lucky winner will be chosen tomorrow. Still ahead, Kenny has his third and final segment on a well-known Penn State figure, and we'll explain why everything old is new again, how renovations are serving as a reminder of days gone by.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
In downtown Hazleton, you could say that everything old is new again, referring to some of the renovations that are underway, including the facade renovations in downtown Hazleton. And here to talk about the historical importance of all of this is Annie Vinatieri, who is a museum board member at the Greater Hazleton Area Historical Society. We are really seeing a blast from the past right next to our studios, right here in downtown Hazleton. The Salvation Army thrift store unveiled the former Rosen's Furniture sign in their facade.
Yes, they did. And Rosen's, that sign is a really good example of some of the facade work and renovations that are going on or will be going on in downtown. A lot of great revitalization efforts have been taking place, a lot of them led by Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. This one was to renovate the Salvation Army sign. That was, I think, a project internally that they're doing. But there's a lot going on downtown. And it's neat because it exposed that sign that many people had either never seen or had seen maybe 50 years ago. So it brought back a lot of memories for people. And with the Rosen sign, it's very interesting because we can even see the neon light strips that are still there. The colors are still very vibrant that was there. So it brought back a lot of memories. We had recently posted a picture on our Facebook site. A lot of people loved it and were commenting. It kind of was a trip down memory lane. So a lot of neat things going on. That block is very interesting because, of course, it was right next to the Capitol Theater. The Altamont building was built there, and that was originally Pardee Square, where the Pardee Mansion, they were were coal barons in the area, had built a beautiful estate there. And in the 1920s and 30s, the city of Hazleton voted, the people of Hazleton voted to demolish it, which it would have made a lovely little Central Park area for Hazleton. But out of that, we got the Altamont, we got the Capitol Theater, other stores and businesses along the way, even this building. So it's very interesting to see how history kind of opens itself up again, reveals itself.
That is true. As you go walking around and you see all of that, and you said many people, nowadays, the younger kids and everything, they had no idea what downtown was like in those days. So how important is it for us to keep talking about this and promoting it? Because our history is so important where we've been as to where we're going.
Absolutely. And I think, the best way to look at history, sometimes we want to kind of say, oh, it's a bunch of dry, boring facts, figures, and dates. But that's the neat part about history. It evolves so much, and it kind of tells us, it shows us a different side of humanity that maybe we never, some people remember the car cruises in the 1950s and 60s. If you were in high school or college, that was a big thing. You cruised your car down Broad Street. I'm sure many of the viewers can recall those days. At the time, that was what was going on in America. It was kind of that Mayberry feel. There were a lot of downtowns, and things change over time. Some for the better, some for the worse. But I think it's neat to see a renaissance of some of that coming back. Again, people remembering that and wanting to create a really nice looking downtown. And I think that will help. We have such a wonderful city here. We want to keep improving it. It's great to see stuff like that. It's a great reminder of the past and where we can go in the future.
And finally, while you're here, we're going to talk. You did take a little walk down memory lane recently at the First Friday, showing off some of the historical sites.
Right. It was a fantastic walk. I think we had around 75 people. It was great. We went to the Altamont Ballroom. A big thanks to those who let us go in there, Broad Street Deli, the Paisleys. We went into City Hall. The mayor and his wife were wonderful there, gave us a great tour there. Went to Brandon's Forever Home. We went to the Hazleton Public Library, Jim Reinmiller. It was a wonderful walk. Everyone enjoyed it. I learned a lot that day. Really interesting stuff. There's a great walk Mr. Probert will be leading at the Vine Street Cemetery later this summer, so check that out. I think it's with the Y Walks, so you can look at that, the Keystone Active Zone. So there's a lot going on, a lot of neat history. Of course, the museum's open Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays from 9 until 2. We have a staffer there. You're always welcome to stop down at the museum and see what we have. There's something for everyone.
Absolutely. So the next time you're in downtown Hazleton, look around, look up, because you may see parts of history from days gone by.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Beautiful and rather humid day outside today, and hopefully after we make it through tonight's showers and thunderstorms, it'll pave the way for a nice weekend. Taking a look at your forecast for tonight, showers and thunderstorms before 1 a.m. Slight chance of showers then between 1 and 2. Patchy fog after midnight, low around 60. Then tomorrow, things look great. Mostly sunny, a high of 79. Clear skies overnight with a low of 59. More of the same for Saturday. Beautiful sunshine. Temperatures around 78 degrees. Picture perfect. Partly cloudy with a low of 62. And the sunshine continues Sunday with a high of 80 and a low of 65. And then as we head back to work on Monday, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies with a high of 77 and a low temperature getting down to 64 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. Treat yourself today.
The mayor of Weatherly had decided he was not seeking re-election. However, his name is now on the ballot in the November general election. Here to tell us how all of this happened is Weatherly Mayor Tom Connors. Congratulations on your victory that you didn't really run for in the primary.
It's pretty amazing. I've served on council in January to be 10 years, 8 years as mayor, 2 years as a council member. I was going to give myself a break for a couple of years. I discussed it with my family. I had their blessings. And I kept my name off the ballot. But the good folks in town came up to me when they heard. They asked if they could write me in. I said, sure. And it was an overwhelming response. And it really, I think it re-energized me. I love the community. Anybody who knows me knows I love Weatherly. And I'm looking forward to the race. And if anything, we'll give the voters a choice. And that's what every voter needs, a choice, So I'm excited about it. My opponent's been serving the same amount of time as council as myself. We both have a record we could compare, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope to be reelected and serve Weatherly for another 4 years.
So now you wrote in on the Democratic ticket.
I was.
And on the Republican ticket, it is former councilman.
No, it's Councilman Norman Ritchie is the Republican, and I'm on the Democratic ticket. And, you know, most people know me. I cross party lines. I'm all about my town. So I got a lot of good alliances with different politicians, and whenever I could reach out and get some help for our community, I certainly do. So I'm looking forward to the election. I'm ready to go, and if the people have me, I'd be honored to serve another term.
Now, if you are victorious, are there any items that you would like to accomplish if reelected?
We have a lot of good things in the works. We have close to $1 million worth of development that's going to go on in Weatherly in the next couple of years. $600,000 we were able to get from the gaming money for our new police station. $400,000 grant we were able to get to build a magistrate building. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, and I'd like to see those projects finished out. We're putting a new park in town, things like that. We're talking about rails to trails. So I'd really like to finish what I started, and I'm happy that the people had faith in me and wrote me in, and I'm humble, and I certainly appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to a good race.
All right. Well, congratulations on your write-in victory. We will see how it plays out when the voters head to the polls in November. Taking a look at today's midday Pennsylvania lottery numbers: pick 275, pick 3527, pick 43394, and the pick 5 16762. Today's midday lottery numbers are brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency, with 2 locations to serve you, one in Cunningham on Sugarloaf Avenue and one in Escapec on Broad Street. Call them in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 or in Escapec at 570-752-7683. Sports is next, right after the break.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
We've already brought you 2 stories from the annual dinner for the Hazleton chapter of the Penn State Alumni Association. We talked with Brad Spider Caldwell, the longtime Penn State football equipment manager and current facilities coordinator at Beaver Stadium. We talked with former player Ryan Kaiser, who had to overcome some adversity during his career. But we saved a special story for last. Here now is Ken Kara with our third and final part of this series.
When you get married, there's a chance you might have to hem your significant other's pants. There's usually no chance you have to hem the winningest coach in college football's pants. It was a different story for Karen Caldwell, who married Brad Spider Caldwell, Penn State football's longtime equipment manager and current facility manager at Beaver Stadium.
I mean, Penn State's a big place. How did it end up that you were like, okay, I'll be the one to sew everything?
Well, that came with the marriage because I had a sewing machine, and sometimes Brad needed things turned over quickly. And rather than take it downtown, and it was just easy to bring it home and have things repaired. And Coach Paterno's pants, we wanted to make sure they were hemmed just right. And so it just kind of gradually kept building with doing repairs. But then the patches, and sometimes we wouldn't get the patches till the last minute, and to get them ready to put on that truck to go to a bowl game. It just worked to bring them home, and the more I did, the more he brought home for me to do.
I had no idea. You hemmed Joe Paterno's the legendary
Yes, those pants. Yeah, we would get them to the size, and then I think his wife did a little bit too with tacking them to stay up. But
was there a certain height that they were all? Was it like uniform?
Yeah, we had the measurements of each of the coaches, and Coach Paterno, a certain measurement, and then to plan for it being turned up with that tradition. So.
Penn State's jerseys are still pretty simple, but there was a time when they were even plainer. Some fans were shocked when the team added a Nike swoosh to the jersey in the 90s. When Bill O'Brien decided to put names on the back of the jerseys for the 2012 season, some thought it was a sign of the apocalypse.
The first patch was that when we joined the Big Ten, so they required their patch, which, it's kind of, we always had a plain jersey, so that was a big event to have to put patches on, but each bowl game required it, and in the Big Ten, so one thing led to another. It was the names that really threw me. The names, I never expected I'd be sewing names, and my hands were shaking with that tradition, but supporting the new coach and his idea for the team.
Did you get a thank you when did real Bill Bryan come by and say, hey, you know what, you did a lot of work on these because Nike, I guess, couldn't do it?
You know, Coach O'Brien was very appreciative. He was. He appreciated the work, and yeah, we had some personal words back and forth. It was very special to me.
Bill O'Brien isn't the only one who appreciates the work of the Caldwells. Most Penn State fans recognize Spider, and many have heard the story of Karen putting the names on the jerseys.
Did you ever think it would grow into this, even when he was working with the football team and maybe had a few cool stories to share?
Well, it's interesting. I know I always was interested behind the scenes, you know, what it takes, because, you know, you always hear the quarterback, you always hear the coach, but it takes a lot of other people working, you know, the team doctors and the film guys and all the trainers. I was always amazed, and so it stands to reason the equipment and, you know, keeping them outfitted, that's part of it. So
Neither of them ever played it down, but the Caldwells are now woven into Penn State football history. Thursday is $1 burger night at Bottlenecks. Get a juicy 4th pound burger for only $1 all night long.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Holy Rosary Parish, located at 240 South Poplar Street in Hazleton, is inviting the community to join them for an outside group rosary and their parish picnic, which will follow. The event gets started Friday, July 24th at 3 p.m., and the picnic begins at 4. For more information, please call 570-455-6390. Our next announcement, the 62nd Annual St. Jude Parish Picnic will be held August 7th and 8th from 4 to 11 p.m. and August 9th from noon to 9 on the parish grounds at 420 South Mountain Boulevard in Mountaintop. The picnic features great food, desserts galore, open pick barbecue, and much, much more. For more information, just call 570-574-2535. And finally, the Bernard J. Dolan American Legion Post 434, located in Ashland, is looking for veterans from all branches to join the Legion. Help keep the proud tradition of the American Legion alive. For more information or for an application, please call 570-875-3428. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Vincent C. Manzak Jr., formerly of Beaver Meadows. Services were held in California. No local services were announced. James J. Belay of Hazel Township. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. in the St. Cyril and Methodius Parish at St. Joseph's Church. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. And Frank C. Satorsky of Haddock. Funeral is Saturday at 11 a.m. from the Stanley E. Analosky Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is John Byer of Mahanoy City. John, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Remember, tonight's the last chance to enter to win those tickets to NASCAR to the Pennsylvania 400. Like us at facebook.com/FYI News 13. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Where can you turn for information on your hometown? FYI. Where can you get headlines, newsmakers, sports, and weather? FYI. Where can you go for tips on fitness, cooking, decorating, and much more? FYI. FYI. 3 letters, endless information. FYI News 13. This is your town. This is your show. Brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.